Hello, I'm Juan Diego Munoz, head of the Real Estate and Civil Department here at Lexidy Law Boutique. Today, I will bring you some piece of advices about the property purchase process, so stay tuned. I hope that you find it interesting. What about the tax implications? Okay, let's begin with a simple one, which is the transfer tax. The transfer tax is paid every single time you are purchasing a property in Spain, a second-hand property. It depends on the region, meaning that if you buy a property in Andalusia, Valencia, Catalonia, or Madrid, this tax rate will slightly vary. It is in between 6 to 20% to be considered over the property purchase price. So please bear in mind that the price you are negotiating is not including this tax. Well, on the other hand, if the property is a first-hand property, meaning it's a brand new building under construction or a new project, you will be paying VAT. The VAT is flat rated in 10%, and to this amount you will need to add the stamp duty tax, which varies slightly between the regions from 1.2% to 1.5%, meaning that the price will be slightly increased, including VAT and stamp duty, between 11.2 to 11.5%. In these cases, you won't be paying the transfer tax. So let's remember, as in summary, is transfer tax for second-hand properties, VAT and stamp duty for first-hand properties. Then, as becoming the owner, you will need to know that in Spain it's considered that you should be able to be obtaining an income renting the property. So if you don't do any rental, there is a very small amount to be paid in form of taxes, meaning that you will be needing someone giving you advice and preparing these tax forms to be paid yearly after you became the owner. On the other hand, when you become the owner of a property, it is very important to be aware that you will be needing tax advice and tax assistance, because in Spain it's understood that when you are the owner of a property you are not using as your main residence, you will be needing to pay a small amount of tax, even if not renting it, because of the potential of your property. This tax is paid yearly and is a different tax from the municipality tax, which is also paid yearly. As a general amount, imagine for a 500,000 euros property, depending on the area, but roughly you will be paying about 1,600 euros price for the municipality tax, and around 400 euros based on this rental income tax, even if the property is not rented. So, in summary, when you are acquiring a property, you will be buying VAT and stamp duty if it's a first-hand property, or transfer tax if it's a second-hand property. Then, as being the owner of the property, you will be paying the municipality tax plus this income tax related to the potential of your property if not rented, or if rented, your personal income tax related to the incomes of this property. Now we will go with quick questions that were asked to us very frequently, and we are going to let you know the answers. I'm sure you will find them interesting. Question number 1. Do I need to be residing in Spain to apply for a mortgage? The answer is no. As foreigner, you could ask for a mortgage in a Spanish bank to proceed with your property purchase. The procedure can be dealt with a lawyer acting for you using a power of attorney, and general rates could be very interesting, so do not hesitate to ask about this. Second question, do I need to be in Spain to proceed with the property purchase process? Simple answer. The answer is no, you don't have to. You can be here and we will be delighted to assist you, but for the case you may have other necessities or you can come, we can do the whole process for you using a power of attorney. Third question, what are the responsibilities as having a property in Spain? Well, initially you will need to attend to an ordinary community meeting if you are purchasing a property in a building or a community of neighbors where very important matters are dealt and discussed. In second term, you will need to be paying your taxes. As we said, the municipality tax needs to be paid yearly, but also there are other taxes you will be needing to pay. In third place, you will need to also cover the expenses related to utilities you may have hired, like the water, electricity, gas, alarm, or insurances. Another question is, can I rent my property as becoming the owner here in Spain? Yes, you can. Immediately after signing the deed of sale and purchase, it does not need to be registered in the property registry. You can proceed with the advertising of your property and the renting of your property directly or through an agency. As a main difference, you may need to consider that touristic rentals may need a specific license to be granted before proceeding with this kind of rental. So please be aware of it and ask for advice if you may need it. What about the property purchase process to obtain the Golden Visa? Well, as you may know, the very first requirement is to acquire an asset for a 500,000 euros value. Based on this, you need to consider that the 500,000 euros value needs to be considered just for the pricing of the property. So please bear in mind that other costs like taxes, notary fees, property registry need to be added on top of this amount. And for the case you are asking for a mortgage, please bear in mind that this 500,000 euros will need to be free of burdens. So for the case you are purchasing a 1 million euro property, you can buy 500,000 euros in cash and 500,000 euros in mortgage. On another note, you can also consider to buy different properties until reaching this 500,000 euros investment required, meaning that you could buy today an apartment and then months later another one until completing this price established by law. So many thanks for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I have clarified many of your doubts. But for the case you may still have ones, we do have a link below the description of the video that will allow you to do a free consultation. We will be happy to solve any inquiry, and of course, I'm waiting to be working for you pretty soon.